tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, AfterBuzzers, and welcome to another episode of America's Next Top Model, Cycle 21. This is the elimination after show for episode 14, The Guy Who Moves Like Elvis, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
the guy with moves like Elvis. That's what it is. I'm your host, Thaddeus Massey, and joining me today is, well, I'm glad that she's here, but I'm kind of not glad that she's here either because that means she's eliminated. But Shei Phan is on the phone. Shei, you there?
Yeah, what's going on?
Shei, what's up? How you doing?
Good.
I think everybody
recovering from that elimination.
I know, right? Everybody was like a little surprised. I know I was surprised to see you go home so soon. I mean, it's getting down to the wire. There's only 4 contestants left. To make it this far is an accomplishment within itself. But just considering what the competition is, and there's only 2 girls left at in the competition at this point, I think a lot of the fans were expecting you to be there still. How did you feel at around this time of the competition? Like, how did you feel? How did you feel like during this time? Of course, you still feel like you have to compete and you want to do your best and you want to win. At the same time, do you feel like the odds were in your favor because it was just you and Lennox left?
Well, yeah, you know, I was expecting or kind of hoping to make it further than what I did, you know, because with every photo shoot I did and challenge I did, you know, I tried my best. Sorry, my sister-in-law just gave me a bite of grapefruit.
Gotta get those vitamins in.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I tried my best, and I thought I was getting stronger each and every week. And you know, I was, coming up higher and higher, but then I would get knocked back down to the bottom.
Right.
And you know, it kind of sucked. And then, you know, seeing how bad Keith did struggle with the whole photo shoot, and you know, Tyler getting up there and you know, showing him literally what to do. Same with Will, and you know, I felt like I did not a whole lot better, but I feel like I did do a little bit better than Keith, at least in the photo shoot. And, you know, I wasn't terribly disappointed with my photo. I mean, obviously, as you saw, like, I kind of broke down because I knew it wasn't my best photo. So in a sense, I was like, oh, well, I think my time has came.
Right.
Which sucked.
I mean, you know. You showed, you actually let a wall down and actually showed some emotion this episode. I don't think anybody was expecting to see, and it was good to see because you know, nobody has really seen you. Haven't been like a central focus in the house, like all the drama that was going on in the house. You weren't really in the mix as far as a lot of that's concerned, which is a good thing. You were just there to compete and be a good model and perform. And now we actually got to see a little bit more of you and learned a little bit more about you. And I think it was refreshing to see that this competition, and you were emotionally invested in this competition, and this is something that you really wanted to accomplish, and you wanted to win. And to see that side come out of you, I think was really refreshing for the fans. How did your family, you know, what was your family's reception to you being on the show?
Well, it's actually great because I'm home now, so I actually got to watch a couple episodes with, you know, my mom and my brothers,
right,
my nephews, and I must say my nephew Jaden Fan is probably my biggest fan. He broke down just as hard as I did when I got eliminated, and you know, we're both crying. He's 8 years old, and he just breaks down, you know, once I got eliminated, and you know, it sucks because he was just like, he's like, it's not fair. They gave you low scores and they shouldn't have gave you low scores. He's like, you did good.
Yeah.
You should still be in it. And I'm like, well, you know, it's a competition. You know, can't win at everything. But, you know, I was really glad that I was actually here to, like, be with him and, you know, be with my family when it did happen because, you know, nobody was really expecting it. A lot of people, you know, they told me, they're like, oh, I bet you win, I bet you win. I'm just like, I don't know, we'll see, you know. And then to actually see the episode where I get sent home, it, you know, I was trying to hold back tears, but, you know, just all that emotion, like, it kind of got brought back again because, you know, yeah, during panel, yeah, I did. I broke down because I was just so frustrated. You know, during the photo shoot, I thought I did great, you know.
I think a lot of the fans.
I thought I nailed Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, I thought you did too.
I thought I portrayed her. Yeah, I thought I portrayed her the best I could, and then seeing the photos that they did choose, that's when I was just like, man. And then hearing, you know, Miss J and Kelly give me a 7, I was just like, that's not cool. Like, you saw me, I was like, this is not the best. Like, I can do better. Like, I can portray it a lot better than this photo that y'all chose.
Right.
You know, even though Tyra liked the photo, I still didn't agree with the, you know, the photo that they chose. Like, I thought I did way better during the photo shoot. And, yeah, it just sucked because, like, you know, throughout the whole competition, I wasn't in drama. You know, I would put my 2 cents in when I felt like it was needed.
Mm-hmm.
And,
you know,
I got along with everyone. You know me, like I'm just kind of like a chill person. I like to have fun. Like I don't like drama.
Right.
So when drama was brought to me, like even with Romeo, like, you know, I would say what I needed to say, and then I would separate myself from the situation because that's not me. I'm not going to portray myself just because I'm on TV as someone that, you know,
out of character,
is involved in all the drama.
Yeah.
You know, because that's not me. I didn't want to be portrayed as something different. So
where's home for you? Where's home for you? Because you said you're home. Where's home?
Ardmore, Oklahoma. I'm in Oklahoma now.
Ardmore, okay, baby. Ardmore, Oklahoma. Okay. So you guys that's out there in Oklahoma, the fans of Oklahoma, you guys know that Shei is actually out there right now. You guys might catch her at a mall or something shopping. Who knows? But
yeah. I've actually, you know, ran into some people, so it's been kind of cool. I've met up with high school kids I went to school with, and you know, I went out there to see my art teacher because, you know, art is a big part of my life.
Yes.
And she is one to really inspire me. So I went back to my high school and got to see some of my teachers, and that was really great, you know, just talking to them for a little bit. Everyone's like, oh, my gosh, you're famous. I'm like, no, not really. No.
You are in Oklahoma. You're famous in Oklahoma right now. The shot, I have to say, just my own opinion, I thought you had one of the better pictures. Adam obviously came away with the best picture, and that was Adam's first best photo. He finally loosened up without drinking, or I don't know if he was drinking, but he wasn't drinking, or they didn't portray him drinking, and he was loose, and he had a good time with it, and he actually won. He won best photo, and he looked like he had a good time with it and did a good job. Keith looked a little more stiff with that with the shoot, and one of the girls made a comment about, you know, you could look at that. I guess it's kind of what eyes you were looking at it through. You could either look at him like he was crazy, psycho, or you can look at it like it was cool, sexy. It all kind of depends on who was looking at it.
Right.
Will had a good shot. It was weird to see Will with the dark hair. That was weird. First, and then secondly, he had the hunch thing going on again. I think they commented on that. And he's so long, but he had a decent photo. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst, it was decent. I really wasn't a fan of Lennox's picture. I really was surprised that it came down to the two of you being in the bottom, and the girls, I mean, all the guys were safe. That was like the weirdest thing to watch. But I really thought you had a really good photo. I really liked your photo. I thought it was cool. I thought you struck a good pose, and the shot wasn't probably the best shot. I'm sure you might have had some better shots that were in the shoot, but I also liked seeing you with one full head of one colored hair.
Yeah.
Right? You had the Maryland wig on, right? So you didn't have the split hair going on. How do you feel that's going to affect you in your career? Because you were actually in the studio. We're blessed to have you and Will in the studio a week or two ago, and you still have the split hair going, and you work it your way. You have your way of styling it, and it looks dope. It's sexy. You know, you got it going on with it. But as far as modeling is concerned, how do you feel like that will affect you? Have you decided to keep it for shoots? Because, you know, Tyra was like, this is your signature, blah, blah, blah. How do you feel about that?
Right. Well, you know, obviously you've seen that I kept my hair, and ever since, you know, coming off the show, I have been doing photo shoots, and I've been working with a lot of photographers. I've actually made it into a couple magazines. I did Fashion Week again, and, you know, so I got to rock the runway, actually with Control Sector once again, which that was amazing. I was the only girl, again, to walk for them. So, but I personally like my hair a lot, and I haven't really got a lot of negative feedback on my hair. If anything, I've got a lot of positive feedback, and people love my hair. And, you know, with the photo shoots that I have been doing, I've been trying to do a variety of different things, not just edgy, because I feel like, you know, once people do see my hair, they automatically categorize me as being an edgy girl.
Right.
So I have done, you know, like sexy swimsuit photos. I've done beauty. I've done commercial, high fashion, edgy. Like, I'm trying to do everything. So once I do go into the agencies and, you know, and see the bookers that I present them with my book, they can realize, like, okay, she's able to do all this type of stuff, even with this kind of high fashion, really edgy, out of control hairstyle.
Right.
But I have not gone into the agencies yet, so I do not know what they're going to say or how they're going to respond to my hair. You know, they might tell me to change it all to one color, or they might love it.
Well, now,
I don't know. It's just like the whole thing in Korea, you know. Half of them loved my look and half of them didn't.
Exactly. Like when you went on, what was it, like one or two go-sees, I think it worked against you. And I was screaming at the screen, like, that's not her fault. Tyra did that to her. Like, book her for, book her for the shoot. It was like, oh, great. Now this is working against me. Like, how am I going to, you know, overcome this objection? But you really can't. I think it's going to be one of those things where you're probably going to isolate some booking, and then you're going to get a lot of other bookings because it works for you. It's going to go either way. One thing.
But honestly, I mean, if you look at the industry, you know, high fashion industry, like the whole really kind of super dope, edgy look is so in right now, with especially guys and girls. Like having something unique, like colored hair or tattoos, like people love that stuff. Yeah. So, you know, once I do go into agencies, I'm hoping that they do like it and they'll keep it, and, you know, that I'll book a lot of stuff, and, you know, because I like it. I mean, I like it too. The fact that you were the only girl booked for Control Sector for what was that, for Fashion Week? That speaks volumes right there. So it's obviously working for you, and you own it, and you're rocking it, and the fans love it. All the little pandas out there. That's the real panda. Okay, this is the real panda. I just want to put everybody on know this is the real panda. It's not Chantel. Chantel does not own the panda label. I am the real panda.
Shei Phan is the real panda, and all her fans are the little pandas, right?
Yeah. All my little pandas out there, they know who Mama Panda is.
Right. All the little pandas out there, rise up. Well, the pandas weren't happy that you went home, and in fact, the pandas are not happy either that you didn't win the challenge for the acting, because they actually mentioned well, let's break it down. You guys had a challenge where you guys got to act in what is like a Korean soap opera with two veteran soap stars, right? And you had to learn some Korean as part of your script, right?
Yeah, that was, I forgot once I got up there, but I just started making up words, hoping it sounded like Korean.
Right. But you did it
pretty good, you know, improvising.
Yeah, you're pretty natural with it. I've got to admit. And then everybody else was kind of, Will had some issues connecting emotionally, they said. And then he, you know, in his video journal, he said, well, I'm not attracted to girls, so it's kind of hard for me, blah, blah, blah. Lennox had a problem remembering anything. Keith just swooned his way. I guess he just charmed his scene partner, and that's what got him over.
He knows
he didn't get
his
anything.
magic, and he knows how to work it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But you know what? To his credit, that was a great way to compensate for not get. He wasn't going to get any of those lines or any. Like Keith was not going to get any of that stuff right. He just kind of winged it. Yeah. But the improv actually worked for the scene, and he just kind of made up for it with charm, which was really kind of funny. But it worked, and that's why he won the challenge.
Yeah, it did.
But for acting, I would have said it was you and Keith. You guys were the most natural, but I think you got more correct lines than Keith did. I think Keith just went completely off book.
Yeah, well, like we even discussed it, and even Keith, he was like, "Yo, I think you got it. I think you won." I'm like, "Oh, I hope so. Like, it'd be dope like, to win just like the acting challenge, you know? Because I do enjoy acting. I'm not the best at it because I still get stage fright. Yeah. But it is something that I want to pursue and like kind of dip my toe in a little bit. But yeah, when it came down to it, I knew it was either going to be Keith or me. And once the Korean actors started talking, I'm like, okay, yeah. Right. He's kind of won her over. Yeah,
I think he got her with that. When he kissed her on the hand, I think it was a wrap. When he did that, he kissed her on the hand, it was over. Yeah. She was like, "Oh my gosh, he just kissed me on the hand." I'm surprised that Adam was so overly confident and cocky about this challenge. It's like, what? He's like, he's gonna set the script on fire. I'm done. I've got it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm smart. I've got this. And then he totally choked.
It turned around and bit him in the butt. And that's what happened because we're all at the house practicing, and probably 15 minutes after us, going over lines, he runs in there and he's like, "I don't need this. I'm gonna catch it on fire," and he caught it on fire. I'm like, "Really? Like, just like that?" He's like, I got it. I already know my lines. I'm good." And honestly, Adam's a smart guy, so I'm like, he probably does know his lines. Right. But I think getting up there and getting in front of people, the pressure probably got to him a little bit. Right. And he just crumbled.
Do you feel like his confidence as he gets and he advances further in the competition has gone up, but now it has actually gone beyond the point where he is actually overconfident now? Because I think that was a pure sign that he's overconfident, and based on what happened in this competition or that particular challenge. Was he like, okay, I gotta chill now because I'm over the top, or how did he respond to not winning since he was so overly confident about having his what together before he went up there?
Yeah. Well, after we got back to the house, like you could tell, like, because what did he get on the challenge is 6 or 7. He got something low. He's down at the bottom there with Linux. Yeah. I mean, we could kind of tell he's just like, man, like, we're just like, well, you shouldn't have burned your script. We kind of joked around with him, but I think he's like, he knew he messed up. He knew he probably should have took a little bit serious. Right. And, because he has his moments where, he's a very confident guy. Yeah. Don't get me wrong with that. And, like, he does know his strengths. Well, apparently everything plays his strengths.
Blue suede steel.
I think he did realize, after that challenge, he's like, okay, it's getting down to the nitty gritty, and just being confident and being overly confident isn't going to get me where I need to go. Right. And then the whole thing, with Tyra, bringing up about his drinking, during that photo shoot, he, all day, like, he didn't drink. He was actually sober, and I think he had the right amount of confidence because he knew what he needed to do, and he knew if he was overly confident, it would have played out just how the acting challenge played out. Right.
How do you feel? Where do you feel as far as your career and as far as acting? Because you did say that you would like to pursue some acting. How do you see yourself? If you have to say you're a cross between like two actors, who would you say that you would most emulate?
I don't know, because I really want to do an action movie. Okay. But I love comedy at the same way. So like you know, Jennifer Lawrence, I don't know if I could necessarily meet her standards, but, you know, she has done both, where she's been in action movies and she's actually been in comedies as well.
Right.
You know, that's something I would love to be a part of. You know, the next Lucy Liu, I guess, you know, Charlie's Angels type.
Right. I could see you in a Hunger Games or Charlie's Angels or something like that. That would be cool.
Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah, I would do what I need to do. Improv. You want me to speak Korean? I can speak Korean. No problem.
Okay. Well, what can your fans look forward to seeing you? And before we go to that, who is your favorite to win this whole thing?
I'm really rooting for Will. You know,
You're really rooting for Will. Okay.
Competition, of course, it'd be me, but. You know, since I'm not, I'm really rooting for Will. You know, we've been close since the beginning. Even Lennox as well. Lennox or Will, I love them both. They both have done, you know, great throughout the whole competition. You know, winning Best Photo and winning some challenges as well. And you know, Will is such a down to earth type of guy. He's so humble, and you know, him coming on Top Model and you know, really putting it out there that, you know, he is gay and he wears heels and he's proud of it.
Yeah.
And he's from Texas.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, that's a big step. And so, like, for him to do that, and he owns it. He completely owns it. And so I think he would definitely be, like, a really great person to represent America's Next Top Model, just, like, who he is and where he came from. And he takes these amazing pictures, and he's just so gosh darn beautiful, too. Like,
yeah, he's a good-looking guy. I got to give it to him. Will has that face. Yeah. He has that face. He has the height. We saw the height actually work against him a little bit in Korea, but, I mean, other than that, this guy will book all day. You know, he has like this thing, and he's been able to butch it up a little more than Corey was able to last cycle. So that's going to really help him a lot when it comes to these editorials or whatnot. One thing I also have to mention about you is that, and this is one thing that I didn't like, was the panel. I don't know if it was Miss J or Kelly. It was one of them, and they were feeling like you were more of a runway model as opposed to an editorial model, I guess. That's what they were. They felt like you were stronger there, or you were more of a, you know, a runway show type of model. How do you feel like that? Because I don't feel like that, and I'm sure all of your fans don't feel that way. Just because you can slay it doing both, or you slay it on the runway. I mean, obviously, like we said, you were the only girl that got booked for the control sector. The control sector show for Fashion Week. I mean, that just goes to show how good you are on the runway, but that doesn't mean you don't bring it in front of the camera either. How do you feel about their assessment of that?
Well, I mean, since day one, I've never really been Kelly's favorite. She's gave me 6s throughout the whole competition, except for one. She gave me a 9 or 8. I think it was an 8, actually.
Was that a her shoot for her clothing line?
No, I did win that challenge for her clothing line.
That was for Nylon, and she thought you didn't photograph well. And Marvin, the guy who from Nylon, thought that you were dope, and you knew Keith and Adam won that challenge.
Yeah. And
so take that, Kelly Catrone.
Like, I chose that photo, you know.
Right.
You know, it was me, Keith, and Adam. We worked as a team, and we do great as a team. And, you know, it came down to, like, choosing photos. I'm like, no, we have to choose that photo. It's a strong photo of all three of us. Like, we did great. And the fact is like, yeah, it was the best photo, and we won that challenge. And, you know, the thing is like, I don't necessarily agree with majority of the photos that they did choose for me.
Right.
Because, you know, I've done modeling for, a couple years before I even got on Top Model. So I do know what I'm capable of, and I know I'm capable of great photos. And, you know, the fact that Kelly, she continues to say, you know, I can't take great photos, and she even told Marvin, you know, the owner of Nylon, that I don't take great photos. Like, it's just, you know, I'm like, well, shit, like, that sucks for her to tell him that when he really likes me.
He completely disagreed with her after she said it. He was like, I think she has a great look. And then you ended up winning the challenge. It was like, okay, shut up already, Kelly, about this I don't take great pictures thing.
So, like, I was really happy when I won because I was like, in your face. Like, your challenge, your clothing line, and I won, and you think I can't take great photos.
Exactly. Exactly. I thought that was just poetic justice at its finest right there. That was awesome.
Yeah. But, you know, I try to do my best in everything I do when it comes to runway, when it comes to print, anything. So, I mean, I love runway. That is one thing I know I'm great at, and, you know, I showed it. But I do believe I'm just as good at print as well. So
yeah, there was a couple of times you stepped on the runway and you were like 3 different people, like 3 different characters based on what you were wearing. So it's obvious that you definitely have some acting chops somewhere in there. You just don't dig them out and go get on camera and go audition for some stuff. We would love to see you on a TV show or something.
Oh, yeah, I would love to do something like that. You know, I think what it was, you know, when it came to the photo shoots, that's different from when I was on the runway is because, you know, on the runway, I had 3 different designers. And obviously, for all 3 collections, it was 3 different, like, moods and, you know, emotions and really what they wanted to bring to the runway.
Right.
So I talked to these designers. I'm like, what do you want? They told me exactly what they wanted. In the story. I did it. With the photo shoots, you know, it's really hard for me to like get into doing what I do best in front of camera because, you know, there's Yusai or it's Massimo or Eric or Tyra or whoever else is on set and, you know, you have 4 to however many people telling you what they want from you. So for me, I'm trying to take direction and I'm trying to listen to everyone all at once that I start overly thinking. And when I start overly thinking, you can just completely tell it on my face, and I kind of lose concentration of what I'm doing. Because when I get in front of the camera or when I get on the runway, I don't necessarily think, I just do.
Right.
You know, I take what they tell me at the beginning, and I apply that, and that's all I need. And I really don't see anyone else around me. I look at the camera, and I do what I need to do for the camera. And I just felt like, you know, in the photo shoots, I just lost concentration when I had so many people, you know, just yelling at me and telling me what they wanted from me and not just allow me to do what I needed to do, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I
think that was the difference between, like, the photo shoots and the runway because runway, I could do runway every day.
They showed some of the people getting yelled at and them being really, like Yusai and Tyra being really hard on, like, Keith or Rayleigh or Lennox. I don't think we really saw them being too hard on you. Do you feel like it was, was it because they didn't show it or was it because you just did your thing and then stepped off? How did that kind of go? Because we know they edited a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
because Yusai was really...
I was doing photo shoots, you know, I don't know. Of course they didn't show as much as, like, getting on to Keith and, you know, getting on to Lennox because I don't think it was that big of an issue for me.
Right.
Like, it was like little things that I had to adjust. But still at the same time, like, I still had them, you know, like, telling me what to do. So, like, they didn't show it. Like, I mean, if you watch, like, half the time, like, when I'm shooting, like, I'm literally shooting for 5 minutes and then I'm done.
Right.
And a lot of the other contestants, they got to shoot for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So they had, you know, longer time to get their shot and, you know, to, you know, show them doing a photo shoot. And for me, like, I don't know, like, I went up there and I did my thing and they're like, okay, we got it. And it was 5 minutes later and I'm done shooting.
That's what every director in Hollywood wants to hear. One take Jake, in and out. Hello, you there?
You know, I did my best with everything I did on the show.
You did a great job. And we're proud of you. We're glad you did a good job on there. And all the little pandas are gonna miss you severely. Where can your fans find you in the meantime on social media?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram. It's Shei, SHEI_P. Facebook, my fan page is just Shei Phan, ANTM, Cycle 21. I have a YouTube channel. It's just Shei Phan. What else? My clothing line website, www.sandboxpro5.com.
Nice.
I will be starting a blog soon.
Okay.
So stay tuned to that, because that's going to be really dedicated to all my fans and just really showing them how much I appreciate them and, you know, trying to get them involved in what I do. So
we also got to see you in a couple of Emma K's Closet pieces from Panel a couple of weeks on the season, which was pretty cool as well. So shout outs to Emma K, who ain't here right now. But yeah, that was really dope. And we're going to look out for your clothing line, your blog. You guys can go follow Shei on Twitter and Instagram. Shei, thank you for calling in. And man, I really wish that you were in this thing longer, but damn, it's down to 4. It's down to 4 people. I mean, the top 5. That's a hell of an accomplishment still within itself. So kudos to that. And hopefully we can get you in the studio again, maybe before the season's out. I don't know. Hopefully, we've had you in once. We want to get you in one more time.
Well, yeah, I mean, once I get back in California, definitely come through for sure.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host, Thaddeus Massey. Until next time, After Buzzers, peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.